Good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining us. Small but mighty crowd today, and that's all well and good. We're going to go ahead and get started. And with that, Jolene, why don't you go ahead and introduce our presenter today? Oh, actually, let's do quick introductions. I apologize. I see Cindy's joining us as well. Cindy, would you like to introduce yourself?
First. Hello, I'm Cindy Woodruff, and I work for Blue Diamond Growers in Turlock, and I'm the sustainability champion here at the plant.
Awesome, thank you. We have another green ribbon cutting coming up that Jolene will share with in a little bit.
Nice.
And Renee, could you introduce yourself, please?
Hey, good morning. I'm Rene Gutierrez, Associate Planner with the San Joaquin Regional Rural Commission. We're the owner-operator of Ace Trains, looking forward to expand to Ceres Modesto in a few years. And also with the San Joaquin Joint Powers Authority, we are the governing body for the Amtrak San Joaquins that does serve Stanislaus at the Modesto station out there off of Briggsmore. So if you guys have any questions on trip destinations or trip planning, just feel free to reach out to me. I'd be glad to help you guys out. Enjoy passenger rail in California and beyond. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Looking forward to the expansion coming here. Jolene, I'll go ahead and have you introduce yourself and whoever's in the room, and then you can introduce our speaker.
Okay, my name is Jolene. I am the sustainability coordinator here at the chamber. Sitting with me is Jaime, our accountant. Would you like to introduce yourself?
JB Lastro, staff accountant, Modesto Chamber of Commerce.
And then our speaker, we have Julie Hurd from the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development.
Good morning. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, feel free whenever
Or do
you're
you
ready.
have some agenda? Okay, I'm happy to start. Again, my name is Julie Hurd. I'm the business development specialist for the Central Valley. I know that I've connected with Renee before, but hello to the rest of you. I think it's appropriate that we're having a green meeting on St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. I'm just going to dive right in. Slowly, if I don't hesitate to interrupt me if you have a question or if I'm going too fast. I've got a few slides here that I'm going to go through just to kind of give you a high level overview of what the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development does and some of the programs that we help facilitate through our office and other units within GoBiz. So I'll jump right in. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you for joining us.
This is just an overview of my presentation today. Just going to do an overview and incentive dive, and then I'll wrap it up for you. So here we have, this is the GoBiz department. We work for the executive branch. Even though I have that nice, beautiful picture of the Capitol building, we're not actually located there. We're one of the, we're located in a building down the street, but these are the units that are housed within GoBiz. So I myself am on the business investment service unit. There's 8 of us. Soon that's to double. We have California divided into 8 territories. Prior to me starting with GoBiz a year ago, there was only 2 people covering the whole state. And so one thing that we've heard from our community partners is that there's not enough involvement on the state level with our local partners. So they regionalized California, and they hired regional specialists such as myself. The requirement is that we must be located in territory. So you're actually viewing me from my home in Madera. So nice to see you all. We also have a permits unit that helps assist businesses with regulatory issues. We have 2 permit specialists on staff that work with businesses to help them get through all that red tape. And then we have also our Office of Small Business Advocate, and I'll be going in to some of their services a little bit more on the next slide. I felt like that it would be appropriate to bring them up since presenting to chamber members, and oftentimes our chamber members are small business owners. So I wanted to make sure I hit on some of their services. Then we have our International Affairs and Trade team, our Cal Competes team, which is our signature incentive program, the Film Commission, our iBank, which I'll talk a little bit about. They have some financing options for small businesses. A new unit to Go Biz is the Zero Emissions Vehicle Infrastructure Unit, dealing with the infrastructure and programs for electric vehicles. And then we have Visit California, which is our tourism arm. So Office of the Small Business Advocate, I'm sure your chamber staff are very familiar with their programs and also with their office, but some of the signature programs that they have to help small business, you may be familiarized with already. One of the new ones is the California Dream Fund, which is like a seed program for small businesses. What they require business owners to do is to go through one of the technical assistance centers that are endorsed by the state through a training program. And then when you finish the training program, they will seed up to $10,000 in grants to help get the business off the ground. So that is a new program through their office. The California Micro Business Relief Grant Program, that is money that the state has put forth to counties to do small business grants for COVID-19 relief. Some of you may be familiar with that program through your county. It may be a CBO that was administrating those funds too. Just depend for each county who was designated for that. And then there's the Small Business Relief Grant programs that they also administered. Many small businesses are familiar with that program. It was a program through the state that small businesses could apply for up to $25,000 in grant relief. I know it was a very competitive program. We heard a lot of frustration behind it, trying to get through applications and being able to connect with people about questions. And so I know that I want to say that there was millions of dollars put behind that program, but I know that through the process of it being the first time doing something like that, there was certainly some kinks to work out. The other program that they have is a rebuilding fund, which is something that I'm not as familiar with, but it's a loan program I know through their office. And then two programs, more administrative programs that they've also do is the Inclusive Innovation Hub program, which they just put applications out for to select 10 in the state. And the iHubs are to establish or to be like an incubator of tech and science firms within the county. And so I know that they selected 10, and what it is, a 5-year program. Each year, the iHub is granted $250,000 to help fund their efforts. And it was just approved, or I don't know if it's approved. It's proposed to be approved that another 3 iHubs will be selected this budget year as well. So that we're waiting for the announcement of who the 10 are to be selected. So we're anxiously waiting to see what regions will get that funding to help expand those industries. And then lastly is the TAPE program, the Technical Assistant Expansion Program. And that program is funding that this office gives out to organizations that offer technical assistance and training, workforce training programs. And I think they have over 80 tech centers that are funded through this program. So that's just an overview of some of the programs that OSBA does, but they're a great resource to reach out to, and I'm happy to connect you to their office. They would be another great program for the chamber. Right now, they don't have a rep like me that's representing the Central Valley area. They're recruiting for that position. So when they do bring somebody on, which we expect it to be in the next couple of weeks, I will make sure to get you that contact so that you have it. Now this is our unit. We call ourselves CalBiz, California Investment Services, Business and Investment Services. And this is just a list of some of the things that we do. right now, just promoting our services and giving you an overview as part of what we do. But we also meet with companies to do site selection. We do incentive navigation, which is a little bit that I'm going to share with you today as well. Other things are just some of the things that we covered in the previous slide. But basically, when you think of our unit through GoBiz, think of us as the front door of the state for business. So if you have any question about, is there a program, is there funding, any question that you have for the state, we like to be your point of contact. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. You don't have to be in a certain lane. We're happy to assist any business with any question and direct you to the right place if we don't have the answer. This is just our website. If you had some question or wanted to look up some information that I might have shared today, you could go to our website, click on the industries there, and depending on what sector you're in, if you click on manufacturing or let's say wood bioproduct and biomass, it will bring up a list of popular programs that people in that industry usually take advantage of. It's not a full list, but some of the highlighted programs that we have. And I'll get into a full list with you in just a couple more slides. I put this slide up for California Competes. I know we got Blue Diamond on the line here. I don't know if you're looking at doing an expansion at your facility. This program is geared more to heavy industry, large manufacturing. And what it is this the state signature program to recruit business to the state. So the state will offer income tax credits. California is known to have high taxes in this state, which is hard for people to justify a move here. And so this program was created to help relieve some of those concerns. And it's a 6-year carryover program for income tax credits to a business. The business needs to be either looking to move to California, or if it's located in California, the business needs to have a case as to why, if they didn't get these tax credits, they would be moving out, or if they're even doing an expansion, the same thing. If a business is expanding in California, it would be justifiable for them to expand in the event that they got these tax credits, or else they would be looking outside of the state to expand their business. The thing about this program and why it's geared more towards manufacturing is because you have to be creating jobs that are not already provided by another business. So for an example, like if you're a hair salon, you wouldn't qualify for this program because you're not creating new jobs. So if you ended up closing your hair salon, down the street there's going to be another hair salon that's offering the same services. And so by doing that, the state does not want to make one or have one business have a competitive advantage over another business because they're taking advantage of this program. So they have to be newly created jobs that either the expansion or the new business would be creating. I'm just going to pause for a minute because I feel like I'm talking really fast, and just make sure that there aren't any questions. If there are no questions, then I'll just keep moving on.
No questions, but great information. Very comprehensive. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. These two programs that I have on slides too, this one and the following one, are employment credit programs, and I thought would be applicable for small business. The only part about these programs that's difficult to meet is if you're hiring new full-time employees, you can be eligible for employment credits, but the wages must exceed 150% of minimum wage. And so a lot of times that is the hook, or not the hook, but the the part of this program that makes it very difficult for people to take advantage of. But the qualifying factors is hiring somebody that's been unemployed for more than 6 months, a veteran, formerly incarcerated, CalWorks. I like to think of this new employment for those of us that remember the Enterprise Zone. This is kind of the program that took in the place of Enterprise Zone that the state rolled out. And so just something to think about if you're hiring new employees. This is something you might be able to take advantage of. The federal government also has a similar program that does not have the 150% of minimum wage requirement. You just have to fall into one of these 5 categories, and you can get employment credit on your federal, I believe it's on your federal tax. So I could be wrong with that. And generally they call it the WASI program, and it's generally facilitated through the Workforce Development Office. So something to ask your partners at Workforce Development. They would be very familiar with that program as well. And then this is a new program that the state has rolled out, the homeless hiring tax credit. And employers may receive $2,500 to $10,000 in tax credit. This one also has a requirement that wages must be greater or equal to 120% of state minimum wage. So it's a little bit lower on this one. And then following that are some of our other incentive programs, research and development, income tax credit, any research and development that may be happening at your business or facility, you could potentially get a tax credit on the expenses of that activity. We also have a partial sales and use tax exemption. Again, this is geared more towards the manufacturing side of things. You have to fall in a NICS code within the manufacturing. It's the 300,000s, I believe, where most manufacturing will fall under those numbers, and you can get a partial sales tax exemption on the state portion of sales tax. And then we also have a full sales tax exemption program. So if you're purchasing equipment at your facility, this is a competitive program. The partial sales tax is not a competitive program. It's just a matter of filling out a one-page worksheet with information through the treasurer's office. To get that, it kind of turns itself into a wholesaler license. You present it to your vendor at the time of purchase. The full sales tax exclusion program is different. It is a competitive program. It does have a little bit of a fee associated with the application. This is if you're at a facility where you're looking to make a major investment in equipment, especially competitive if it's equipment to make your facility more green, more environmentally friendly. This would be a great program to look into. And you have to fall under a couple of buckets with this program. You need to either be an advanced manufacturer, be manufacturing an alternative source, a recycled feedstock, or be in the business of advanced transportation products. So those are the buckets that you would have to fall into to qualify for that program. And then the next one is the Employment Training Panel, which is a program that the state has to help with training dollars. So Employment Training Panel, it's usually their program is for employers that I want to say have about 40 plus employees, and they'll help you develop a catered training program and then help match the dollars spent on the training program that you come up with, that you customize with their team. And a lot of times they work through your local workforce department as well. So for more information on that, if anybody is interested, I'd be happy to connect you with a specialist, or you may want to reach out to your local workforce department. Okay, we're wrapping it up here on the incentive programs. Go ahead. Was there a question?
Oh, I know. I just said that the cake there looks good.
Oh yeah, doesn't it? Oh, it's gluten-free too.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah. The Small Business Finance Center through our iBank does small business loan guarantees and helps small businesses overcome barriers to capital. So if you're working with any small businesses that are looking for a loan guarantee or having a hard time getting financing, this would be a great place to refer them to. And you could also send them to me, and I'd be happy to get them connected as well. And similar to the iBank, we also have capital access programs through our treasurer's office. Also doing like collateral support, and has a variety of programs too, for financing programs for Americans with Disability Act. So like, I think I'm not quite as familiar with the treasurer's programs, but I think like anybody that are trying to make their businesses ADA compliant, that may be some financing options there for those types of projects. Electric vehicle charging stations. Some small businesses are looking at doing this to help bring traffic off the freeways when they're looking for charging stations. Maybe they could come to your business and charge and shop while they're there too. I also know that I know that I don't think you guys have SoCal Edison in your area for your power, but some of the power utility companies are also rolling out programs to help with installing these charging stations as well. And then just to kind of highlight, it's budget time right now in the state. And so some of the proposed things that the governor has rolled out, I kind of have bulleted there, pretty small. I don't know if you can read them, but looks like we've got funding to promote tourism, continuing with waiving the filing fees for, to waive filing fees for new business. Technical assistance, I think that's going to be routed through the Small Business Advocates Office back to the TAPE programs. So money towards providing technical assistance. And then it looks like additional funding is proposed for the iHubs as well. And then just a few more items that I wanted to pull out. This is not an exhaustive list of things, but just some highlights for the budget that are going to roll out in assistance to small business. So it looks like a continuation of the small business grant relief program. We already talked about technical assistance, capital infusion program, and then another thing that has been flagged this year for the budget is this retail theft, these smash and grab types of things. It's like they're rolling out some assistance for businesses on those instances as well. No details on how these programs are going to work yet. Got to get to the point to where it's finally approved, but more to come for sure, especially if they're approved. And so this is the guide that I kind of brought up briefly earlier, our comeback guide. And some of the programs and more that I spoke of today, you can find on this comeback guide. Its layout is similar to kind of like an Excel document. You can kind of see, there's a picture of it where it will have a listing of the program. It'll tell you what type of program it is, whether it's a grant, whether it's a rebate, whether it's a tax credit. I think it even does financing programs on here too. And in each of these titles, incentive names is a link to the program. It will give some brief eligibility information, the amount of funding that's available, the time frame that you have to apply for it, and then contact information to that program. And there's a link here to the comeback guide. We're always updating it, and I'm happy to provide everybody with a copy of this presentation so you have this information. But if you're looking for any state funding, it's likely going to be listed in this comeback guide. And and along with this comeback guide, I would like to offer one more resource, which is the California Grants Portal. And you can also go onto the grants portal and you can put in information on just about anything, and any solicitation that's open, any programs that are open that fall under the category that you're looking for. say you're a business and you're in the ag sector and you don't care what time frame, you just want to see what programs are out there, you just click show me opportunities and a list will come up and it'll show you everything that's available through the state. It's a really helpful tool. We like to make sure that we make people aware of it. It's worth it just to jump on there maybe on a quarterly basis just to see what kind of incentive programs and grants and funding is available, especially if you're looking at doing some capital expenditures at your business. And that concludes my presentation. I went through that extremely fast. I apologize. I think this is my first time doing this by myself, and I think I was somewhat nervous. So thank you for bearing with me today.
No problem. Great information. As I'm listening to you, I think it would be worthwhile to invite you back to also present to our Economic Development Committee at one of our meetings, because there's a lot of crossover that I'm hearing. But great information. And as I said, we had a small but mighty group today. So we'll see if anyone has any questions. Then really would like to have you back to do also this group again when we're kind of regrouped from our big event a little bit more.
I'm happy to do that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hi, Julie. This is Renee. It's not much of a question, but more of a request. So are you able to do a similar presentation to the Merced County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce? And I think we talked about this briefly, but yeah, this is a great presentation. It's always great to hear someone talk about it versus just reading through the brochures, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, we'll connect. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Trish.
Yeah, absolutely.
No problem, Renee. Nice to have you back today. Okay, I think with that, we're going to stop recording.